a client who reached out to me. He told me he came into an issue. He bought a pre-sale home back in the peak, 2021, 2022. So, he paid the GST, he paid property transfer tax. Now it's, 5 years later, the BC government, the Ministry of Finance, has sent him a letter saying that questioning what he paid for it, that they think he paid below the market value. And they're now chasing him for an extra $3,500 in property transfer tax for the value they think it was worth. All right. My first thought was, WTF? Like, I have never heard of that.
Welcome to the Canadian Mortgage Show. Here are mortgage professionals, Pang and Alex Shanks, to cut through the BS and educate Canadians on all things mortgages and real estate.
Welcome to episode 89 of the Canadian Mortgage Show. Alex Pang here alongside Alex Shanks. Now, before we begin, let's make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button on Spotify and YouTube. We're growing. We've hit 118 on YouTube, 374 on Spotify, but we got to keep going. Let's get us to 1,000 on both platforms. Now, Alex, I don't know if you noticed, but last week we had a preview of a new intro song. We're supposed to have saved it for next week, but our producer EJ kind of jumped the gun there. I don't know if you guys like it. It's kind of like a punk rock song, kind of Avril Lavigne-ish, right?
Yeah.
We didn't hire anybody because we can't afford it. This is actually AI generated, and it's a realtor friend, or he's a new friend, and he created one for us through AI. And we're actually going to bring him on the pod next week as a guest. So we don't want to say any more about that, but I hope you guys like the intro. Alex, you said that your kids like it. My family likes it. I think
Have you seen like that AI? Like I've seen videos of it online. It's more of like I had AI turn my wife's text messages into a song, and it's more of ones like during like pregnancy or they're at home.
I feel like death. I'm so tired and have a headache, and I think I'm hungry, but I can't eat. I'm dying.
And yeah, they're hilarious. Some of them. It's pretty funny that way.
Wow. Yeah. So when he shared a couple of his AI generated intros, and I first heard him, like, that's pretty good. Like, shit, what do you like? So yeah, and thankfully our producer kind of put it on last week. So I'm like, oh, you didn't even ask us. Anyways, we have it on now, so this will be our permanent song for a while being. But Alex, how are you?
Good, man. I'm actually tired. I'm always tired. I got kids, but I actually had to do some manual labor this weekend. I was doing some work at our cabin, and we're building up a big spot for trailers. And so, hey, if you can set up a tent there if you want, Alex, you can come over and tent in it. But we were building a big retaining wall. Had to bring it up 6 feet. And yeah, I had a buddy that runs a construction company, builds homes, and yeah, he came out. And I think we worked about 12 hours Saturday, 12 hours Sunday. And shoveling, raking, and I'm like, man, my small computer hands aren't used to that type of labor.
And plus you're a tall guy. Your back must be hurting from all that shoveling all day, right?
Not too bad. Like, knock on wood, my back has always been pretty strong. But the blocks that we were lifting are like 75 pounds each, and we had to lift like 300 of them. And so just, yeah, back and forth that way. But we got it 90% done, and so excited that way.
So I'm a little bit ignorant on these things, but when it comes to a retaining wall, can you do a full 6 feet on one go, or do you have to do a graded thing, like a couple feet and then a couple feet, like a step?
Well, like legally, you're only allowed to be a meter. Like if you're over a meter, you have to have railings, for one, or it also has to be engineered. Like you have to have a permit and stuff for it. So we're below a meter that way. These are like cinder blocks, and they start to go backwards on a bit of an angle. But like it depends on what type of retaining wall you're building. If it was just like a straight cement wall, it would just be straight up and down. If you backfill it with dirt and everything and just compact it the entire time.
Okay. And I guess the way you did it, you didn't need a permit or anything like that, right?
No, exactly. We kept it below the limits that way, so we didn't have to deal with any of that stuff.
Well, my week has been busy. Actually,
You had a birthday.
Yeah, it was actually my birthday last week, and sandwiched afterward was like I said, it was my best friend's wedding this past Saturday. I emceed it. It was an honor to do that, but yeah, it was work. And I was telling Alex before we hit record, I couldn't wait for May to be done. Yes, it was my birthday, but we had Mother's Day, my birthday things, the wedding stuff, and I got more things this week, but I'm nearing the end of the gauntlet and I'm tired.
Just
So
tired, you're just done.
yeah, I mean, I certainly can't handle Alex's like, you know, 2 full days of labor. I'd be like, you know what? Time or money.
Yeah.
I'd rather, pay someone to do it or don't do it at all.
And that's, I mean, I would not be doing that by myself. It was more like I'm paying his company to do it, and we just kind of did it. It was fun. I mean, we got to hang out, we got to chat and stuff that way. But yeah, it was a lot of work for sure.
I mean, one thing I would do maybe because our tenant is one of our tenants is leaving. My wife and I we're gonna repaint it, and she was even saying, "Oh, should we pay someone?" I'm like, "Man, we just do it ourselves, man. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of work." No, it's not. Not compared to what Alex is doing.
Oh,
So
well, again, but it is like you said, like, and this is where I'd say, as people, as you start to look at money, it's trying to figure out your cost per hour. Like, you do have to look at that. And hey, like, I would have not, if this wasn't on the weekend, I wouldn't have done this job. It would not. I would be losing money if I wasn't working on my phone, for doing mortgages. And that's where I find a lot of people sometimes think like, oh, I'm going to do this job myself because it's actually going to save me money, but you're not looking at the other costs. Are you taking away from other work? Are you taking away from family? Are you stressing yourself out more? And that's where, yeah, like, you have to look at those costs.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, we've taken up people's time. Hopefully, we didn't lose half our audience. Let's get into the show, shall we?
Yeah, I mean, we obviously we're recording a little bit later than normally, so some of this information's coming out, and it's kind of even changed for some of us. But the big one, we got the CPI report in April, and I mean, it increased. There was no questions of that. Was it going to be increasing? The interesting thing, and a lot of experts thought it was going to be increasing higher than this. It should have gone higher than 2.8%. It is up from March of 2.4. Now, excluding the gasoline, CPI rose 2%. It was 2.2. So, like, again, everything is going to be going up because of the cost of fuel and oil. The big one, the only reason why this number actually should have been over 3% is travel. Travel had a negative 11%, which, again, like, it's not really that the costs were down, just people can't afford. And so, like, the demand for it is there. Shelter costs are still up, grocery prices are still up. And so, like, in all honesty, I mean, we know that this number is not even correct. Like, if we were looking at true inflation, this is the pick up the basket of what you want in there for Canada to try and make it look different. But like, this number should be higher. There actually is no questions on that.
I'm gonna give you a story about the grocery prices, and we've long talked about how meat is expensive. And I've said before where I don't really barbecue anymore, or if I think back, I only barbecued once last year because honestly, for a family of four, you want to buy your ribs, your wings, whatever, and the stuff that we like to eat. It can easily cost $200 just to have a barbecue for four people. I'm like, hot dang, you used to be saving money. This is almost like going out. Case in point, one of my birthday parties, we had it at a all you can eat Korean barbecue place. And people that are our age, family, parents knew the cost of meat. So we loaded up on meat, like the ribs, the porks, and the beef. And yeah, everyone's like, they don't get to eat meat that often or beef. So I've seen my friends eat more than I usually would have because this is the few times we get to eat. I'm like, hey, for what we're paying for this all you can eat, we gotta load up because I haven't seen steak or beef for in a while. So that's just a funny story that happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, again, like, the cost, and like, everyone's feeling everything. Like, I don't know for you, Alex, like, I just feel there's a stress out in the air. Again, we've been riding that stress for 4 years, it feels like, but it just seems to be more there right now. People are like, again, their budget, their income's not coming in as much as they thought. The cost of everything is going up, and it's just, it just feels very tight. I'd say December, January, there felt like there was maybe a ease in, like, the market. Rates were down lower. It was like, hey, we're this is where we're going, and then meh, going down.
Yeah, it's just going down. And I mean, you know what? Like the grocery and oil prices are up because of the whole Iran war situation here. Bond yields are up. I mean, bond yields is what governs fixed rates. And so there was a period where fixed rates went down for a little bit, and then it went up again. And then now that bond yields have come down from the top, it's down from 3.4, I think, down to like 3.1 today. It's going to be interesting to see if banks or lenders that we have access to
They're not going to
drops.
cut. They're not going to cut again. Like there's too much volatility, and that's where I've told someone, like, trying to explain to them today, showing them, hey, like, this is why. Like, they're like, hey, well, back in November rates were lower. What's going on? And it's because of the bond yields. And again, they're not going to. The banks aren't going to instantly cut it. If it's like, oh well, it's down today. Previously, you would maybe get some rate exceptions that were based on that. Now, a renewal is going to be more tied to that. Anyone that has a renewal, if you had an offer that was last week, I probably would reach out this week and say, hey, is that renewal offer going to be a bit different? But either it needs to stay flat for probably at minimum a week, or a continuous downtrend. I don't see them changing fixed rates until that's happening.
Banks have long been guilty of fast increase, slow to decrease, right? They'll decrease only when the bond yields are down for like a week or two. Then they'll like, okay, well, we'll drop it. But then as soon as it goes up, maybe a day or two, then they'll increase it. Any chance they have to increase their margins, they'll do. So it's just.
And the funny thing, like fixed rate mortgages, like previously, like banks want like a 0.6 kind of like spread between them. They've been riding like a 0.8 to 1% spread. Like the fixed rate mortgages, like for banks, have actually been more profitable than what they used to be. Again, like the banks are like their profits. I remember we talked about that, Alex, like Scotia, all them, their profit levels are soaring. Again, they are making more money. Could they take less money? Yeah, but they're squeezing out, saying, oh, before we cared about like the spread, we were being a little bit more fair. Where, yeah, they're spreading that spread to make more money.
Well, the reason why they're doing that is because business volume is down, originations are down, and less transactions across the country. So whatever they're making, they're trying to increase their margins per mortgage file, per client, or per transaction. And this is going on saying that Bank of Canada is going to likely be on hold for their June 10th meeting. I believe that's their next meeting. But I'm on a site about, I think it's called Bank of Canada Odds or something like that, where it kind of forecasts the next few, and it's based on market sentiment too. So it's not, don't treat this like gospel, but the odds are increasing that market expectations, there might be a hike maybe in the fall. Now that's just what the market thinks. We don't know what will actually happen, and it doesn't take into the fact that, hey, this Iran war could settle pretty soon, and the odds will change. It's like poly market.
But you've been hearing that. I mean, the blatant market manipulation that is like out in front of us right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen there, Alex. Like I think it was in either April or May here. Like Trump made like 4,000 stock moves. Like, and again, he has to report it all, but they're all tied to tech companies, applied to like oil companies, like just crazy, like just absolutely wild.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, stay tuned. These things change week by week, day by day. So this is all the intel that we have for the time being. Now, we kind of segue into the next little bit here. We've all long mentioned that times are tough right now for a lot of people. Now, consumer insolvencies have risen to the second highest on record. Now, according to CMHC data, Better Dwelling, 37,000 Canadians filed for insolvency in just the first 3 months of the year. Now, that's, if we break it down, that's 17 Canadians every single hour financially collapsing under the weight of this current economy. So if you see that on the graph side, on the visual side, I mean, if you look at the highest on record, that was probably that was right at the global financial crisis, right? You think, Alex? Yeah, so we're not too far off the 2008 there. So yeah, things aren't looking good for a lot of Canadians there.
And I'll try, and again, we are, Alex, are mortgage brokers. This is a housing related podcast. I really want to drive this home for people. Owning a home is an amazing thing, but do not let it break you. Do not be like, hey, I'm going to keep holding on to this and not sell it because I feel renting is a bad thing. We've done this like horrible thing in Canada that, like, I don't know, demifies like renters, saying that, oh, you're below me if you're a renter and not a homeowner. If you have debt and there's equity in your home and you can't refinance, like, honestly, selling your home and restarting today and renting is going to be better. I talk to too many people right now because they're like, oh, well, that just wouldn't make sense. I'd be paying rent. And I sit with them. I say, hey, you're paying $4,000 in interest on consumer debt. That's just straight to consumer debt. Over here, yes, you have your mortgage, you're paying some of the principal down, you're like 3,500 bucks just in interest. If you just restart it today, you're instantly going to save $3,000 instantly. And that's where people need to understand owning a home is a great thing, but today you selling it is not going to, it's not going to be like next year it's going to be worth $200,000 more.
Yeah, I mean, Canadians love real estate. We've long talked.
I like it. Like I do. Like I love it. Like it's again, I have easier time dealing it with than investing, but it's just again, people need to sit at a budget and not renting is not the end all thing. Like renting it can be a great tool.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about how there's a common saying about when it comes to bankruptcy, things happen slowly, and then it happens suddenly. And I think it kind of rings true to what you say about people hanging on for far too long when they shouldn't have until they reach a breaking point. They can't do it anymore. And then when they should have made that decision earlier on, because I guess when people are losing their homes, then it becomes real. In the meantime, they're just doing whatever they can and just trying to scrap and claw just to keep things together. But yeah, if it's not going to happen, then yeah, it just things happen slowly, then it happens quickly.
And again, like if you can refinance, you can obviously like take equity from your home, but it's just making sure that you look at it. Again, I've had some people like, well, I'm just going to take it from my home. Well, you have to remember you can only take up to 80% of your value. You can't go above that. Again, are some private lenders, you see, I don't know if you see it online now. Sometimes people are like, I need a private lender for 85, 90%. And I just shake my head. I'm like, I don't know why that person's not saying you should sell your home. Like that is what you should be doing right now. But again, if there's equity, you can, but it's just making sure it's actually wrapping it up in the right way. Just because there's equity there doesn't mean it makes sense to take it out.
Yeah. And I mean, oftentimes there are lenders out there who will do 85 to 90, but it's pretty close to predatory. Like there is no equity and the rates are going to be high and like you're never going to pay this back. So I mean, your best
It's
strategy is just to sell.
they're just hoping that their home is going to be worth more. Like that is all they're hoping for. And that, okay, well, I'll do this. And then when the home is worth more, I'll be able to refinance it. And like, that's not what you want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at the video side too about delinquency rates here, um, non-mortgage 90 plus day delinquency rates are rising faster for mortgage holders here. I believe the mortgage holders are, oh yeah, on the left side, consumers without. Yeah, it is rising faster. I guess typically delinquency rates for um, non-mortgage holders, like I'd say renters and stuff, tend to be higher because I guess I think you had that thinking that people who have mortgages, I guess, are forced into a budget, so they are, I wouldn't say better with their money, or they have been forced to have to budget more properly than someone without a mortgage.
And that's again, like I do think, but I've just seen people right now and they're like, it just scares me. I'm like, I don't want to get away from you. Like you said there, Alex, like it starts slowly, slowly, and then it turns into, I have to go bankrupt now. Where like right now, some people like, hey, they have 20% equity in their home. Like they could walk away today, clean everything up and have a fresh start. Where the longer they keep waiting, it's going to be, hey, you now have to claim bankruptcy because there is nothing left for you.
Yeah, yeah. So we're not here to poo-poo things, but it's just the way things are going, and sorry to say that as this kind of valley in the market that we're experiencing, it's as it gets deeper and deeper, this number is just going to keep rising and rising. So the next thing I want to talk about here is government stuff. Mark Carney, he pledges to reform a reform to get infrastructure projects approved within 1 year's time. I don't know about you, Alex, but did they say something like that already? Like about a
I
year ago?
mean, we got there was a lot of signed MOUs started.
Yeah. Like, did they open a major projects office to speed up approvals? All these ads saying bigger, faster than ever before. You're right, MOUs. So now that we have to start that again, so whatever you said didn't work, like, or you have to I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I like, and I mean, I always find it weird. Like, should they be spending ads on this stuff? Or are ads actually all the ads are for is for them to stay in power? Like that's really what these ads are for, is more to be like, hey, keep voting for liberals. Like that's again, is that where our money should be spent? again, like I think the way I would explain to it in the US, like really there's 1 year of them actually to be able to change stuff in the government. After that, the next 3 years is just trying to stay in office. Like that's the next few years is just staying. And that's the system we have is like always having to make sure people are happy and everything, which is, hey, we want them, but that's not what we should be focusing about. It's not the next campaign. It's like, hey, how do we better Canada today?
Yeah. Talk is cheap. Just do it, man. Don't stop, stop talking about it. Just do it. So,
I like my idea of Alex going back to, hey, there's a checklist and you have to, if you have 10 things on your, like you're saying that this is what I'm going to do as prime minister, you have to put 3 that you have to hit within a certain time period or boom, you're done.
I like that. I like accountability.
Yeah. Now this one here is Ontario enters 300 million cost sharing agreement that would help make province home to largest nuclear generating facility, which again, like having that, like this is something again, everyone wants clean energy. The funniest thing, Alex, nuclear is the cleanest energy in the world, but it's also the dangerous. We know we have Chernobyl, like there's so many bad things, but if you look in Canada's history, like nuclear has been an amazing thing. We have amazing like quality control stuff. And that's where, like, if we want to become eco-friendly, like this is where we really need to be doing more of this, but obviously making sure the infrastructure is set up in place. We haven't done anything massive on nuclear for like 30 years.
Yeah, I think people are just too scared of what happened. I mean, it is clean energy. I mean, this jobs plan is going to bring 19,000 jobs to Ontario. Plans to start with Bruce C, transforming Bruce Power into the largest nuclear generating facility in the world. So now this Bruce C nuclear project will power 4.8 million homes, add 238 billion to Canada's GDP, and is 95% made in Canada. So for all you elbows up people, this is Canada. Yeah, I don't know why we don't talk about nuclear a little bit more.
No, and that's again, it is. I fully understand people that aren't in it. It is a scary thing of how, but like if it is done properly, it is the cleanest, and the amount of energy we get from it is massive.
100%, 100%. So here's an interesting thing that's come out recently. Well, let's first start off. Dunkin' Donuts is returning to Canada. They've left
Okay.
in 2018, but they're making its return to Canada. And I haven't kept up with any slogans, but I think their slogan or they're aiming to hire local people. Um, and well, guess what? Who's their biggest competitor? Tim Hortons. And we all know Tim Hortons been getting their PR has been taking a big hit the last couple of years, hiring all temporary foreign workers and such. Now Tim Hortons has kind of responded to dial back their use of temporary foreign workers and aims to hire 10,000 people locally. So, I mean, I feel this is direct response to Dunkin' Donuts, kind of be like,
Oh, I mean, this is also, I think, like again, even more Canadians, and like even I've gotten better at like going to local coffee shops. Like I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna go over here, like it's quick, there's a drive-through, and I'm like, no, Alex, get out of your vehicle, buy a local coffee that way. And that's just where again I would say Tim Hortons. I mean, it's I don't like them from since they've changed their coffee beans from what they used to have. I think McDonald's bought their coffee beans, and like Tim Hortons has like been horrible for me since then. It's again, I take my kids there just because it's a cheap donut. That's the only reason I go there.
yeah, I kind of refuse to go there too. So, I mean, I go to Starbucks. Yes, it's an American company, but they have a good system, and they hire.
And I mean, I think they also treat their employees better there too. Again,
Yeah,
like they have better stuff that way. Again, this is we talked about this probably 7 months ago. There was an ad out, and actually where I live in my town of a Tim Hortons trying to hire someone. It was like an $80,000 like manager wage, but they wanted someone like not like an immigrant. They didn't want someone from here in town.
yeah, because we know they're
Well, they're getting it subsidized.
yeah, it's subsidized. So they're essentially paying like 60, 70 cents on the dollar because they know no local would like a local would do it, but they'd have to pay full freight for it. And they didn't want to do that. So, I mean, like, thankfully, competition leads to change. And Dunkin' Donuts, thank you for coming back. This is changing, competition and people and they're responding in kind. Uh,
I don't think like because where I live there, Alex, like Dunkin' Donuts was never even here. I don't even think I've ever had something from Dunkin' Donuts, even when I lived when I worked in the US before. Would you like would you actually go there? If it came here to Canada, are you going to go get something from there? Or are you like, oh my God? I mean, I see US people, like it's a big thing for them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge donut guy, but I will go. I mean, we have Krispy Kreme in this part of the Lower Mainland. We have one in Delta. When we're in that area, we do go because my wife's a huge donut fan. Um, but yeah, I mean, of course I'll go. I'll be more likely to go to Dunkin' Donuts than I am to Tim Hortons, and that says a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Dunkin' Donuts, you already got someone coming to you. You could sponsor us. Now, this is another win here for Canada. De Havilland begins the construction of its new manufacturing actual site just outside of Calgary, Alberta. It's one of the largest private sector investments in Alberta's aviation history. It's going to create over 3,000 high-skilled jobs. Now, most of De Havilland's supply chain sourcing is also, again, from Canadian companies. I mean, we're all talking about doing everything back here in Canada is really what people are talking about. Alberta's government has ordered 5 DHC 515 water bombers. I mean, I think in BC, like we already have so many fires going on right now. Like we probably should be ordering some of these. And again, this is another part of the growth in the Calgary area. They need to make stuff that's not only reliant on just like oil. Calgary is a great place. It booms when oil's going, but when there is no oil, it collapses.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, it's good. I mean, we always talk about BC and Ontario stuff, but this is good for the Alberta market with job market where they have secured this contract and building more water bombers and supporting communities in Calgary and more jobs. So we shift gears here towards something local BC. And I think we might have started something here when we first talked about the whole 1% Manitoba down payment thing. I was talking to a client who's reached out to me. He told me he came into an issue, and he bought a pre-sale home back in the peak, 2021, 2022. So, he paid the GST, he paid property transfer tax. Now it's, 5 years later, the BC government, the Ministry of Finance has sent him a letter saying that questioning what he paid for it, that they think he paid below the market value. And they're now chasing him for an extra $3,500 in property transfer tax for the value they think it was worth. All right. My first thought was, WTF? Like, I have never heard of that. And I told Alex before hitting record, and he's like, oh, yeah, it could happen. Probably not so much during a bull market when their PTT revenues are full. But of course, when the revenue is down, you got to look for ways to make extra income.
And again, like, and I said to you, Alex, when we were before recording, I was asking like, oh, was this like a private sale or something? Again, like this is what BC, when even what we did with the Blue Book value for cars, like they wanted money from it. So they're like, hey, we're gonna put a fair market value on it. Even if you sold me a car for $5,000, Alex, if the fair market value is 25, I have to pay taxes on that. That's what like the PTT is meant to be, on the fair market value. But in your client's case, like he bought a new build. It was documented on a sales contract. There is nothing like he just needs to show them like, hey, this is what I bought. It was from a developer. Didn't buy like a private sale. And that's where I more see them when people do like families or private sales. And they're like, oh, I'm going to write it as like a $300K purchase and it's worth 700. Well, that's where they're going to come after you and say, hey, the fair market value of this is not 300,000. You're paying PTT for the actual fair market value. And that's where trying to find that happy medium when family are selling properties to people of like on the island, we usually go off of the BC assessment. Our BC assessment is lower than the market value. So, hey, you can go to the government and say, hey, this is what BC assessment says. This is why I paid that amount.
Yeah, this kind of reminds me of a client who was in your situation that you described there. He bought his parents' home, and part of the purchase price, the parents were gifting equity to him. So the purchase contract was lower than the market value. I hope he doesn't get this kind of same letter from the ministry.
And that's like, again, I always tell people, hey, speak with a lawyer. Like it's the lawyer that is going to be sending the stuff in that way. And I just had some people that did that recently. And actually we used the BC assessment, but he was actually like, hey, you know what? Like fair, like we can legally say like, hey, they've been living in this home since this time. It's not been an investment property. And so he was actually able to use a lower value. And again, if your lawyer's on board with that, they're the one that is going to be battling this.
Yeah. So
it's still wild. Again, like, I mean, this is even when you talk about like people, the government coming after CERB and everything. They're going to come after, and they come after low hanging fruit. They try and go after the people that don't have the time or money, and they're kind of like, "Ooh, I wonder if this guy will just pay $3,500." Where again, we know people, the big developers, the big companies, they're the ones that are really pushing the limits on the tax stuff. But they have their own lawyers, they have their own accountants, so it's harder for like CRA to battle that. Where like on this, like, hey, they're going to come after me and you, even for our business, because we're smaller, to be like, hey, should you actually be writing off that Starbucks coffee you had? Was that for a business meeting?
All I can say, BC government, Canadian government, shame on you, going after the little people. And I mean, like he was even saying to me, he knows two other people that they got hit with this letter as well. And so and of course it's like, yeah, you can fight it, but then there's that cost benefit. Like, okay, if I get a lawyer, is it going to cost me more than 3,500? Should I pay it? And even asking me for like appraisal contacts, we might need to do a backdated appraisal to see like, is this the value what it should have went for at the time? And I'm like, man, what a gong show. And I asked him permission. Hey, can I talk about this in the pod? Of course, I won't mention your name, but thank you for giving us this stuff. We're here to uncover the BS, what's ever behind the curtain of what's going on. And like, hey, I'm sure like, yeah, BC government has very much within their rights to do it, but there's that, there's kind of that
Where again, like this is where like
right? You know what I mean?
there's stuff that's common sense. Like again, and hey, I don't know this person. Maybe there's been multiple properties and they're all like off a little bit. Well, then hey, is there some malfeasance here going on? It's like a one-off thing. Like let's use some common sense and be like, oh, well, yes, we saw a massive spike up in 2022 in home prices. He bought 2021, maybe got a better deal. That's just because he bought at the right time. Doesn't mean that hey, he should be paying what the end of 2021 was for prices because he bought at the start of it.
And funny enough, guess what? The value has come down since he bought it as well. So
Well, you should be going back and say, hey, I wasn't a
get that
discount.
money back. Yeah, exactly. And even myself too. I bought my place when our former premier Gordon Campbell snuck in HST. And when HST got repealed, could I have chased that money back? Yeah, I could have, or I don't know, like we never did, but like
You know what that actually brings up, and I'd be interested if anyone, lawyer, anyone that's like, we remember before the land transfer tax exemption used to only be if the purchase price was under 500,000, where they have increased that amount. I'd be interested to know that people bought like 6 months before that all happened. Have they actually gone and got any rebates or anything? Because someone that bought even a month before that, they bought 501,000, they had to pay $8,000. Where today, if they buy, they'd only have to pay like $100. And so again, you can't be upset like yourself there, Alex, when you bought. Hey, your home is worth more. You can't be too upset. Hey, it sucked at the time, but obviously there is other benefits to it.
yeah, just what it is. But yeah, thanks for my client there for sharing with us and shedding light on what's happening. Well, here's the next bit. I actually drove by this today, and there was a billboard. And we know that real estate is in a down market, and we talked about a few weeks ago about a developer in Vancouver about the try before you buy promotion. Here's another interesting one. Dawson and Sawyer, that's a developer here in the Lower Mainland. They have a development called Queens. That's in the Newton area of Surrey, and they have a promotion called Win a Free Condo. And I dug deeper into this. They have a cornhole tournament where people can win their condo. Okay, so first 200 buyers are eligible to win. Now, so this is a new. It actually came out in March, but I didn't notice it. I just saw the billboard and be like, hey, let's look into this. So the first 200 buyers are eligible to win. To enter the game, contestants must pay a deposit and be approved to buy the condo. So it can't be anybody. Everyone who's participating are under contract. Now, the cornhole tournament will be held during a special party on October the 24th. Now, they're doing some sort of bracket tournament where it's kind of like you only get one shot to get it in. And I guess each succeeding round, the cornhole gets moved back 1 foot in 1 foot increments. And the last person wins a free condo. So the winner will have their deposit returned and their purchase price reduced to $1. So technically, I guess from a CRA perspective, it can't be free. You have to have some sort of transaction. So they reduce it to $1.
But what works on the land transfer tax here, Alex?
I
That
don't
now
know.
you
I
can't
don't
buy
know.
for a dollar. There you go.
Exactly. My guess is you'll probably have to pay land transfer tax
Well,
on
what,
the market
if you
value.
buy a brand new build and you're living it, you don't have to pay it anyways, even if you've already done it. But yeah, again, this is just where for one, I bet you the developers haven't even thought of that. What if these people had the GST credit and they're like, oh, I thought I was going to get to use some of that. In all honesty, they probably just think I'm going to get a free condo. They probably think I'm going to buy the condo I want and then I'm going to get another one.
Yeah. So I mean the prize value ranges from 400 grand to 850. That's the prices of these units. Now of the contest rules, of course there's all stipulations. Only the person listed on the original contract can participate. So no stand-ins or substitutions or bring any ringers to help you out. So I mean this just kind of goes on saying we're hearing these kind of promotions, these sales tactics, only when there's a down market. We never hear about any of this when it's a bull market. You can never negotiate anything. You pay what the price is or get lost. Now it's more like, oh, we'll cover your strata fees for 2 years. You buy, you buy this and you get a Porsche or whatever. All these kind of promotions. So we're going to hear more and more of these as things unravel.
Yeah, it's again, it is, hey, I think that's a nice thing, but again, it's not and again, that price, like, is there going to be different stages? Well, what if I bought a 450 condo, but hey, do I get to choose the 850, or it's going to be like, oh no, you only got the one that you paid?
Yes, you only get the one that
Yeah.
you paid for. So,
Yeah.
uh, Vancouver Mayor Ken Sim, he's looking to change the building code back to allow new homes to have natural gas. So there was a period where I don't know if it's the climate change activists or anything. There was this push about banning natural gas from being built in new homes. So we all know that natural gas is a very efficient means of heating, cooling your homes. We have natural gas in our homes. We have it in our fireplace, and
I got it in all my homes that way.
and for we have a gas stove. We use natural gas too for barbecue as well. Now, when there's that period where natural gas is banned, what can you do to heat and cool your home? What you know more, Alex? What, electric heat pumps or electric radiant flooring with water? That's fine and all when electric prices are low, but what have we seen lately? Electricity rates have gone up. Everything has gone up, right? Energy has gone up, and so somebody has, I think, kind of detailed how much it would actually cost for electric pumps and stuff. It's costing way more on electric prices than the cost. So looks like because of the high energy costs now, the Vancouver mayor and the council are trying to revert back to being able to allow natural gas, having more choice. It's all about affordability. So they're all doing it now. The climate activists are surprisingly, not surprisingly, wildly against it. But at the end of the day, clean energy, or not clean, but more affordable for people, right? To be able to heat and cool their homes.
Yeah, it's again, on the island, same thing. We got away from natural gas, and same thing. It's being brought back in. There was no rebates, where now the rebates are back, and yeah, it just what we seem to jump on board something before we actually have all the data. It's like, ooh, this looks bad, instantly gone. It's like, oh, actually, this is not as bad as we thought.
Oh, this kind of reminds me of Doug Ford when he bought that jet, that private jet. Ooh, that seems like a good idea. And then everyone telling him, no, that wasn't a good idea, man. You just want to kill your ratings, and like, oh, I'm sorry, we'll sell it.
Yeah. Now, this is, again, I feel like there's going to be a lot of climate activists and people as a whole. Like, TELUS and the federal government have announced a partnership to develop a major AI data center cluster in British Columbia, consisting of 3 sites aimed at boosting Canada's sovereign AI infrastructure. They have one planned in Kamloops, expect to come online in 2026, Mount Pleasant in the Vancouver area, and then you got downtown. And I mean, we talk about NIMBYism of like even just building like separate condos and other houses, Alex. Like, I feel like this one is like bad. People are like screaming from the rooftops of, I don't want an AI data center in my neighborhood. Now, again, this is where I also do believe we need more data. Like, there's stuff happening in the US that supposedly, like, certain people are like, and some of them they're getting sick, and they're living in vicinities of AI data centers, kind of like power lines. It's a lot of electricity going in there. And again, should that be in a downtown area? Like, we have more land in Canada. why don't we put all this shit like further away from people?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, yeah, why does it have to be in the downtown core and like in the
I mean, they already have like the power infrastructure. Like, let's say, hey, we want to go put it up way higher up in the mountains. Well, hey, you're gonna have to run power lines and everything that way. But again, like, what's the cost benefit analysis? Should we be taking space in a downtown area for this? I mean, some of the talks are, well, should they build like an AI center below and then build condos on top of it? I don't know. Like, it's such a weird thing. I feel like some people are going to be on board for this. And hey, again, we want stuff in Canada. But at the same time, I don't know how much this benefits us.
Yeah, I mean, AI data centers also need water to help cool it, right? So they're going to need a lot more water, to come in somehow.
Did you see that? I saw a chart, and again, don't quote me on this, anyone. I don't know. It was someone from the U.S. It was like a real person that way. And it was the amount of water that's needed for almonds in California dwarfs what is needed for AI data centers. That's what everyone's screaming, like, oh, we can't have data centers that cost so much water. Almonds take way more water.
Oh, wow, to produce almonds because of the crushing process or how that's made and stuff.
It's just yeah, exactly. Like the water sources is what they need that way.
Yeah. So a few more details on this key project here. The network will scale to over 150 megawatts of power and more than 60,000 GPUs by 2032. Now, this is in partnership with TELUS and Westbank and its partners. Facilities will use renewable energy, liquid cooling, heat recovery systems designed to heat local buildings. And the data centers will utilize NVIDIA technology. So that's one of the big companies in the US there. So I want to finish off this last bit here locally. Well, we have the FIFA World Cup in Canada. We have games in Vancouver and Toronto, but I'm speaking about Vancouver specifically here. It's actually not turning into the financial windfall for Vancouver that politicians and promoters have initially promised. And because I remember, I'm old enough to remember we had the 2010 Olympics here in Vancouver, and it was the biggest buzz in town. And what spurred on it, it helped infrastructure projects that we now have permanently, the sea to sky, out to Whistler. It used to be only like at one point there's only like 2 lanes on each side and it went to single, but now it's 2 lanes all the way through. And other things like the Canada line, the Richmond to the Vancouver SkyTrain system, that was born out of the Olympics and other projects as well. Not so much with FIFA. I've heard a lot of things with FIFA being like, wanting to run the show and even kicking out the BC Sports Hall of Fame from, what their space in BC Place and with no compensation. Now, Destination Vancouver says hotel bookings for June are down 20% from the same time last year. My thinking is because the rates that they're asking for, just people can't afford it. They're just jacking rates too high.
Oh, exactly. Like, I mean, this is where again, if Airbnb was more allowed here, would that be cheaper? And again, when we talked about the like the start of this podcast, like people just don't have money right now. Like it's not like people have the ability to go spend excess money right now. And so why people may love like FIFA was like such a massive thing, like people World Cup, but it's like we don't have the money. Like even if I could get to the game, well, how much am I going to spend on food? Oh, okay, I got to catch a fare. Like it's just so expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, this World Cup was billed by the city and province as big business, but with the final hosting costs unknown, I mean, a lot of people are questioning the economic impact. I mean, we have this graph here on, these are just cost prices, like if you're able to win the lottery and get into the initial buying, here's what the prices of to get in are. Like the Vancouver matches with the group stage. Of course, the group stage games that includes Canada obviously are going to fetch more than the others. But yeah, these get-in prices are expensive. And I have a few friends that are fortunate enough to get tickets, and the tickets that they're selling for, and of course they want to make money. Man, I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, you know what? I'm better off just watching the game at home or hit up a local pub and watch it on TV and just to get, hit a sports pub to get that way. Or there's going to be a lot of free events, watch parties out there. So, it is expensive, yes, but at least we can go and experience it because it is a once in a lifetime thing. I think that's what they're betting on is people are going to sink their life savings for this once in a lifetime thing. I'm like, man, there's free events that we can go and attend and still have a good time.
Yeah, again, I think it's a great thing, and it's just not the time in the economy right now. Like that's really it. Even you could even go back to the Olympics. Like it was a great time, and I mean, I watched a lot of it on TV. But like again, normally there's massive viewing parties in Vancouver, and there still was some, but it's just the amount of money that was made from it for business and restaurants, like well below the normal.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this one is, I think this has become a elitist kind of event where only the haves will have their party and the have-nots will, kind of enjoy it a little bit. But for the most part, this is kind of a symptom of the economy. Like people can't afford it. We talked about earlier when we were at the Korean barbecue, we were like, we know the value of this meat. We better load up because
Just going.
we're like, holy crap. Yeah, so that's kind of thing. I'm like, yeah, this sounds nice, but I'm like, no thanks. I'll just
Yeah.
watch it at home or,
Yeah.
hit up a pub or something when the time comes. All right, this kind of brings us to the end. Alex, what do you got going on? Are you done with your landscaping? Like, or are you?
We still gotta put some gravel in it. That way I mean, maybe we can even tell EJ can put it into the podcast of showing what it looks like with the trailer there. It was up on the socials that way. And we just need to put some gravel in there, and it's gonna be set up. I'll bring my trailer down next week. And it's going to be for people to be able to come stay in the trailer. We have our cabin, but still just a nice spot for people to come down.
Yeah, nice. For me, I mean, I did say I have the gauntlet of things. So already 7 things out of the 9 are already done. Tonight I have a family barbecue. And then Wednesday is my final birthday celebration with other friends. Yes, I'm extroverted, but yeah, I'm gonna be thankful that May will be done. My wife is more introverted. She's like, oh my gosh, why am I so tired? Too many
Yeah.
things to socialize, too many people to talk to. I'm like, yeah, the friends are family, but yeah, we understand. We're looking forward to just like really just chilling and watching TV. You know, the new saying is Netflix and chill, which means something else. We actually
Oh,
need
I know. We
Netflix
know what
and chill.
you guys are doing there, Alex.
Yeah, we're really thinking honestly Netflix and chill and watch TV and just veg and stuff. But you know what? Hey, that's good time of our lives here. As always, folks, if you like this pod, please share it to one friend or family member because we want to grow our community. And on behalf of Alex Shanks, I'm Alex Pang. Thanks for tuning in to episode 89 of the Canadian Mortgage Show. We'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, make sure to follow us. Please give us a 5-star rating. You can even send us an email because we want to know what you guys want to hear about. That's what we're here for. Reach out anytime.